welcome back to Outer Worlds. I'm aproustian. What in the world am I up to? You know what? I should just level up Felix. Hi, Felix. Level. I guess I could give him tossball weapons. I'll just give him some armor. Does anybody else need leveling? I think I got everybody else. Sorry, Felix. Okay. Oh, so this is part of the main quest. So my only side quest remaining is to find yellow vodka. Who knows? So I need to decide. Oh, I think I'll do this though because I know this is in the hotel. Okay, that's at the pilot house, which I don't know where it is. And this is in the wilderness exploitation reserve. I love that, like, I always think it's going to be exploration, which I'm sure they did on purpose, but exploitation is just so...
Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double.
The lobby.
To the lobby we go.
Yeah, I'll stick with my... I really like running around with Parvati and Yoka here. I don't know, it's just fun. But yeah, I was saying before that got interrupted, calling it the exploitation reserve is kind of perfect because you can't imagine people in Halcyon, like, especially in a place like this, like, why have wilderness unless you are exploiting it, you know? Oh, what's this?
Nice. What the? I was going to wash my hands, I swear.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, at least I didn't catch you with your pants down, I suppose. Alright. Sorry for interrupting your bathroom time. I didn't know that was the bathroom log. Okay, let's talk to, the doctor.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report.
See, I could not be a scientist in this world because I could not do that hat thing. Oh my god, let's hear it.
Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, you know, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, someone was trying to poison Helen.
Almost certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion.
You sure it wasn't just the hotel food?
The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food.
Well, you're thorough. Yeah, you called her Ruth Bellamy, not Halcyon Helen.
Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being.
I guess that makes sense.
I had a feeling you'd understand.
You had patient logs on your terminal?
I do keep logs of every patient I treat. Despite appearances, I'm not merely a coroner. I'm also the Grand Colonial's only, and therefore greatest, doctor.
I like you, Dr. Goodnight. You sound pretty happy with your work.
I'm very pleased with my work. Cedric Kincannon is an outstanding employer. What I'm about to tell you, do me a favor and keep this between us.
Sure. Oh my god. Lie and dexterity. No, I love a good
I'd
secret.
much rather work for Slug than Rizzo's. Rizzo's makes a great show about the happiness of its workers, but I think it's all rather artificial. I'm paid
Indeed.
well. I work hard. I'm given respect and a reasonable degree of freedom. Cedric Kincannon runs a tight ship. Most of us enjoy working for Slug.
I'll bear that in mind, thanks.
Will there be anything else?
We'll talk later, I guess. Okay. Okay, so now we've got poison to figure out. Let's go down and talk to whatever is 30 odd meters away here. And something's up the elevator. But reception. Why am I talking to you?
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
I have no idea. I'm about to find out. I need access to the VIP guest floor.
I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it.
I'm not, I could bribe. That's a cheap bribe. I could definitely afford it. But I think I'm going to persuade. Because I think I get more XP for persuading than bribing. I think. I almost want to bribe just because these people deserve more money. But I'm going to persuade. The only guest who'd have a problem with me being up there would be the murderer.
That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Alright. Bellhop Neville, do you have something
Finally
to say to
checked
me?
in, I see. I hope you're fond of the penthouse. It's pretty much the best seat in the whole hotel. You shouldn't want for any amenity you might find elsewhere. Should act as a better headquarters for the investigation than any space dust covered ship. That and you ain't got room service on a ship.
Do I
You
have
ever
room
need
service in
anything,
my
come find me.
penthouse?
Even if you don't, you can still swing by. I'm always happy to chat.
Aww. I don't remember if I asked Neville these things before. I feel like I did, so I'm just gonna say goodbye. Thanks, Neville.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double.
To the VIP guest floor.
If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
Okay. Slug guard, elevator. There's a lot here. Rizzo's Ranger. Wait, what are the... Oh, that's like the... What are they carrying? Mascot thing. Locked, huh?
Great work.
These are nice rooms. Much smaller than my room. Yeah, okay, I'll pick up some parts. I am not going to sleep on somebody else's bed, though. Like, I will steal their luggage, sure. And their hat? Absolutely. Come on, let me... This is the worst. Worst. Just want to pick up the thing. Fine. I will pretend it's not there. Ooh, Classic Wear Express. See, I could look actually cool. Although, actually, I'm still wearing my Jolly Kill outfit, and I will probably always wear it. And it is amazing. The collection. Look at me. Nothing in here to pick up. That's fine. These are actually pretty nice rooms. I feel like if I went to a hotel and the room looked like this, I would be very happy. Yeah. Cool beans.
Making it look easy.
Absolutely. Oh my god, tell me these are chocolates on the pillows. Good enough. Love it. Stealing people's clothes. This is great. This is great. They're gonna be like, there were a rash of thefts in the thing.
Nicely done.
Inspector, help us figure it out. And I'll be like, no problem. I know exactly who did it. It was me all along. Oh my god, I could give us all fedoras. Alright, listen. Just, look. I forgot what my character looked like. Oh, it doesn't show your hat. Oh, because I turned the hats off. Oh my god, I forgot I could give you this. Okay, I'll put your real one back on. Oh, 98. Oh yeah, that's your real one. How's my weight? Oh, I'm good. I'm so good. Okay, well, no yellow vodka, which I guess I wasn't really expecting, but, you know, you gotta check these things. Oh goodness, keeps going, huh? Oh. Burbage 3001, hello.
Initiating banter protocol. Now simulating familiar and welcoming demeanor. Burbage 3001 is trained to recognize all board-approved actors. Greetings, fellow star. Your performance in Maverick Johnston's latest drama was memorable.
Is that the, that I did back on Byzantium? Sure, engineering. I see you've had some work done. Who upgraded you?
Burbage 3001's programming is frequently upgraded to adhere to board-certified standards. The most recent upgrade was performed by Spencer Woolrich. Banter protocol exhausted, reverting to default behavior, grieving and despair. Oh, Halcyon Helen, may your atoms be commended to the Aether.
You knew Halcyon Helen?
Burbage 3001 was designed to disrupt Halcyon Helen's monopoly over the Aetherwave serial market. This unit's programming is based on Helen's most famous roles. Burbage 3001. Anything Halcyon Helen can do, this unit can do slightly worse.
I love how it's like just faintly jittering up and down. Does that include dying?
This unit has been programmed to simulate existential dread. Watch Burbage 3001 contemplate its mortality in the critically acclaimed drama, Waiting for Results. This unit has not yet completed its grief cycles, randomizing despair tables. Oh, Helen, is there no justice in the world?
Alright, I guess I'm leaving then. Hello, Burbage 3001. Thank you for this pneumatic piston. Did they leave, like, oil energy canister on? Oh. I love it. I love it so much. I'm gonna keep stealing from you. Because it's not steal. I want all of these hats. I want every hat. All the hats are mine. Oh, those are amazing. It's like his different outfits. Oh my god, because you put them on the front there. I love it. I love it. Oh my god. The movie posters. Burbage 2001, you're my new favorite. Oh no. Is that where they did maintenance? Oh god. Burbage. You alright, bud? Look like you had some major oil leakage here. More hats than I could possibly use. Yes. Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to explore down the other side of the hallway. Talk to Spencer. Oh, hello. Who are you?
Zeke Hannigan, Rizzo's Rangers 16th back. Pleased to meet you. What can I do for you?
Oh, I had some questions about Halcyon Helen's murder.
Oh, you must be that inspector people have been talking about. It's a damn shame about Miss Helen. She was always real good to me and the rest of the Rangers. Birdie's taking it pretty hard. Miss Helen was the love of his life. So, what did you want to know?
Tell me about Birdie and Helen.
Oh, Birdie was mad about Helen. He was certifiable. The big galoot loved Helen about as much as he loved the game. Trouble is, Birdie was not blessed with an abundance of temper. Helen kept Birdie steady. If he lost his temper around her, it'd be because something broke between the two of them.
Do you think Birdie could have killed Helen?
What? Law, no. Birdie's got a fierce temper, but there's no way he'd ever have laid a finger on Miss Helen.
Can you think of anyone else who'd want to kill Helen?
Miss Helen was outspoken. She made her share of enemies on account of her expressing herself. Just between you and me, I heard rumors the Prophet never much cared for Helen's brand of blunt honesty.
I'm not going to accuse this guy.
What can I do for you?
Because he seems nice. How long have you been with the
About
Rangers?
half my life. You know I was named third most profitable investment on 2 non-consecutive seasons? Ain't a lot of players who can make that claim. Except for the guys who came in first and second, I guess. I spent the last season injured and almost got sold to the Hephaestus Hammers. But now I'm all convalesced. Ready to lay into some Cleo darlings, you know? Really break some legs.
What brings the Rangers to Eridanos?
Since it's the off-season, we're helping support the launch of Rizzo's Spectrum Brown. Meet the fans, sign tossball cards, that sort of thing. Just between you and me, Rizzo's ought to cancel the whole event out of respect for Miss Helen.
That's all. Whoa. Oh, Nyoka. Hi. I feel like this is stealing. Yeah, that's stealing. And it's vodka black, and I already have that. I'm not gonna steal your clothes. I have clothes. Okay, what's in here? What?
Mental note. Next time we got cows in the cargo bay, have a woolly cow party. Wonder how much they could drink.
Good question.
Timeline discrepancy
Whoa.
detected nearby.
Sorry, I was just really not expecting. Whoops, timeline discrepancy next to the woolly cow.
Multiple discrepancies detected. First discrepancy. A woolly cow is present in this hotel room. Woolly
Yes,
cows are an
that's
import
obvious.
species for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve and are incapable of affording upper-class accommodations. Second discrepancy. This woolly cow is dangerously inebriated with Rizzo Spectrum vodka. Alcohol sanguinization ratio exceeds recommended maximum.
Who got this cow drunk? Alright, the recommended maximum blood alcohol ratio for a woolly cow is
0.
touche. So a cow can't have a good time in this colony. Good to
A
know.
brief survey of this area reveals that the most recent occupants were athletes belonging to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Club.
Oh. Was Black Hole Birdie here?
Insufficient data. A brief
No.
survey of localized property damage, divided by the area of this room, yields the following estimate. This unit was likely occupied by every member of the Rizzo's Rangers. -1.
Interesting. That's stealing. Stealing from the woolly cow, I guess. This is kind of amazing, though. I was like, oh, that's talking to Nyoka. I was like, can I talk to the woolly cow? Hi, woolly cow, you're so cute. I hope you're okay after your drunken stupor. It's like those elks that get drunk on rotting pears or whatever. This tossball, signed by Bertie Blackhole Halcombe, was presented to Dr. Margrave on a special guest at the episode of Space Hospital to thank her for removing a tossball stick embedded in his head. Oh my god. Huh. Okay. Oh, nice. Another party, huh?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Is it this? It's not that.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. A single footprint, size 10, tossball cleat-sized.
Analyze the footprint for...
The soil in this residue contains a very high concentration of oxygen.
Huh. Points to a terraformer.
Well done, Inspector. The weather monitoring station at the pilot house substitutes for a terraformer. The soil in his footprint likely came from there.
Interesting. Not enough of a lead, better keep looking around. Pretty good lead, though, since I have to go to the pilot house anyways, talk to, what's his face? The mascot. Whoa. I don't need... What am I analyzing? It's beeping at me for something. Right? Wasn't it? Is it through the wall? Do I need to beep? Oh. Chapter 2 continued. Two huge shapes suddenly bore down upon them. Halsey and Helen saw these were the same creatures she had faced on Maximilian Mercer's ship. Face down they had human attributes, but above were slick and jet black. These were the Dissident's evil agents, half men, half giant limbless slugs. Oh god. Helen, like swiftness, darted out of the way as the first slug struck out with its fangs. Olympus Opal, however, was not as fortunate. So paralyzed was she by the first creature's visage that she could not defend herself from the second. Its teeth clamped down on her neck, and after a few minutes' struggle, she expired. Having regained her footing, Helen drew the Spacer's Choice pistols taken from Mercer's corpse, still functioning well despite their economic make, and let loose. And ere the first spent casings met the ground, both slugmen were in pools of their own blue blood. Apologies, my friend, Helen said sadly as she looked at Olympus Opal's still body. But I wish you had heeded my warning. The colony has lost a great employee today. With that, she holstered her pistols and stepped into the marauder base. Oh my god. Oh.
The charred fragments of a letter lies at the bottom of this wastebasket.
Station meeting point in emergency. Okay. Poke the ashes cold. Any idea when this happened?
Someone burned this letter shortly after Halcyon Helen's death.
Can you identify what was on the letter?
Unfortunately, most of the writing is beyond recovery. The words station, meeting point, and emergency are all that can be discerned.
Station, meeting point, emergency. You think it's talking about the atmospheric station? Or maybe the pilot house? Could be anywhere.
I feel like pilot house. Yeah. clues I found point me to the pilot house. Absolutely. Interesting. Ah, this room is stealing. The rules, man. The moral code. So confusing. Alright. Well, unless they have vodka yellow, I'm not stealing it. I do have inventory. Yeah, I've kept these, so I've got red, green, brown, violet, indigo. I do have indigo, blue. It's supposed to be orange. Okay, and black. Just checking. Alright, let's go talk to Spencer. And that'll be more than enough for today, I suspect. I like how they decorate their rooms.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology.
Oh my god. I'm gonna play along. You'll never take over Halcyon, you fiend.
How does the scenery taste? Good, I trust. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you? And how did you get in here?
Let's see. Oh my god. Name's Morgan, I'm a ship captain.
And yet you found your way to my humble hotel room. Why do I feel there's more of a reason for you to be here than you let on? I think I know, you cheeky little sprat. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon, your wallet, or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard.
Oh my god, if you guys could see my face right now. Why are you asking to sign things? Are you okay? I can sign my weapon if you want. Oh my god, yeah, sure.
I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here somewhere. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh, hello.
There we go. Hello.
Hi. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in The Marauder's Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
Let's see, I hear you were poisoned.
Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation.
Can you think of anyone else? Let me do this. According to Helen was also poisoned.
How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you.
She wasn't killed by the poison.
Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor.
Can you think of anyone other than the chef who'd want to harm you?
None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve.
Indeed. Why don't you go to the clinic?
Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it.
Well, I guess that's all I'm going to
Very
know.
well, then.
A thing or two about your activities in the hotel?
Have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense.
Burbage told me you upgraded him.
I did indeed. With Halcyon Helen parading her fame about, I was left without an acting partner. Burbage is no exception. His acting protocols were nothing short of a joke. So I decided to make some modifications, installing him with some of my old serial quotes as, I think, improved his range. The way he bungled about with that weapon of his hardly befitted a dissident, so I modified it as well. He's much quicker on the draw now, though he's still a machine.
Yeah, I've got my eye on you.
I'm quite used to being breathlessly watched.
Oh my god. Alright, the murder.
Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end?
Poisoned and shot with plasma.
How awful. Whoever did this must have been quite heartless.
Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character.
Got anybody who can corroborate that?
Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating.
Okay. Back to my other
I'll
questions.
answer whatever you wish.
Did you know Helen well?
Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way. Unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids.
Oh, I definitely do. Do you consider yourself a friend of hers?
I'll ask you this. If you'd been the star of cinema for years, then suddenly found yourself scrounging for bit parts while a younger person stole the limelight, how would you feel? In short, the two of us weren't close. But that's not to say my dislike of her was so extreme that I tried to do anything drastic. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me.
Yeah, speaking theoretically, how would you have killed the victim?
Oh, come now, Inspector. What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of.
Back to the other questions.
I suppose that is enough on that grim subject.
I'll ask, who are you exactly?
I'm sure you're joking. Perhaps I'm not in my prime, but you've no doubt seen the name Spencer Woolrich on many a cereal advertisement throughout your travels.
I've
You think? I mean, yes, of course. You have, obviously.
Okay, that's it. Goodbye. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, criminal. Fingernail and goldening appointment at 5:30 tonight. New room urgently demanded. Oh, yes. When I first arrived at Grand Colonial, the unveiling led to a small sitting room, the kind of individual might be allowed to relax in with moderate comfort before being led to his actual quarters. It's been a week and a half, yet no one has arrived to deliver me to my actual room yet. If I didn't know better, I might assume that this was meant to be my actual room. If I didn't know better, I might assume you tried to place Spencer Woolrich, star of hundreds of serials, the hero of Ether Wave sets colony-wide, in a room where he can hardly walk from one end to the other without bumping his toe on the foot of his bed or his shoulder upon his desk. I might even assume that Ruth Bellamy was placed in the Grand Colonial Penthouse Suite on purpose rather than by mistake. But I'm sure the issue will be rectified soon and our positions will be swapped. People won't tell me anything to the contrary. The Grand Colonial staff understand your consternation at being placed in the VIP guest level of the Grand Colonial. We're afraid that there was no mistake. Ruth Bellamy, as current spokeswoman for the Spectre Brown unveiling, is currently slated to have the Penthouse Suite. An actress of her station deserves only the best. The VIP guest floor comes in very close as the second best section of the hotel. The suite is only about twice as large as your current lodgings. The amenity it provides are only perhaps 3 or 4 times better than those you have access to now. They are proper for an actor of your caliber. If you have any other requests, I'm sure to respond to them after we get to Ms. Bellamy's. Oh my god, I love it. I love them so much. We're sure you've no doubt heard of the horrible... Excuse me. We know that many of you are concerned for your safety. Take heed. We've heard your concerns and know that nothing quite says safety like dozens of guns. Oh, God. Armed security will be present all throughout the Grand Colonial on every floor except employee floors 24/7. Freely go about the hotel premises and spend to your heart's content without worrying about someone shooting you in the back of the head. Oh, God.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Where? Where? Alright, I really am out of time, so I am going to have to come back next time and examine this and find whatever beep 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 thing.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Wait. Is it? Oh, no, I found it. Where'd it go?
Discrepancy
Okay,
detected. This bottle, recently discarded, contains residue from foreign substances. Chemical analysis complete. This unit has detected the following substances: oil, terrorray, blood, terrorray, unidentifiable biological fluids, terrorray.
What? Do you know anything about... Oh my god. If I do this, Nyoka's gonna be mad at me. Do you know anything about terrorray biology, Nyoka?
A lot of folk use their blood for seasoning on account of its sweetness. Don't try and use its innards, though. Only thing that can digest taro meat is a raptidon.
Huh. Were these substances added later? Definitely
These
sounds
substances
toxic.
cause extreme gastrointestinal distress in humans. Large doses can be fatal. This bottle contained Rizzo Spectrum vodka. The presence of terrorray biological fluids may have significantly improved its flavor.
Oh god. Okay, so somebody poisoned the vodka. That is good to know. But I am going to leave myself here next to this thing. Yeah, I'm just going to... I'll come back to that next time. Alright, catch y'all later.